10 man-made wonders in the world. Humankind has undoubtedly come a long way from its early beginnings, and needless to say, the world is now brimming with amazing ancient and modern man-made structures to satisfy your wanderlust. However, not many of these structures stood the test of time compared to the wonders found in nature. If you've ever wondered what counts as a man-made marvel, or which man-made wonders to add to your bucket list, we've compiled a list of our top 10 masterpieces, so stay tuned. Do you like traveling to foreign destinations? Subscribe to Travel World and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Now, shall we see? Number 10. Teotihuacan, Mexico. Starting our list with Teotihuacan, which is renowned as the City of Mystery because so little is known about it, including its precise origins. Specifically, it is home to the Mexico City Pyramids of Teotihuacan. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is about an hour from Mexico City, and to get the real Teotihuacan experience, you will have to climb all the pyramids like the Pyramid of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the Pyramid of Quetzalcoatl, which contain some of the most exquisite architectural details. The city has a fascinating history to it as well. Approximately 1,000 years after it was founded, Nahuatl-speaking Aztecs gave the city its name, Teotihuacan, which means the location where the gods were made. The Aztecs, who stumbled upon the city and were astounded by its size and grandeur, were similarly ignorant of who had built it. Despite advancements in our historical and archaeological understanding over the centuries after the discovery of the Aztecs, not much is known about Teotihuacan's previous inhabitants. Isn't that fascinating? Nobody is still aware of who constructed the city, who once lived there, what language they used, why they left, and what the metal spheres strewn around the area once served. But it's certainly worth a visit. Number 9. Chichen Itza, Mexico. Chichen Itza is a magnificent ancient Mayan city that can be seen on the Yucatan Peninsula, only 3 hours from Cancun. There are so many Mayan remains to visit at this archaeological site, including the Kukulkan Pyramid, the Temple of the Warriors, the Snail, and more. Interestingly, there is also the sacred cenote underground reservoir, where Mayans once performed ritual sacrifices and other offerings to their gods. This amazing site is reflected in one of the most important buildings from the Mayan Empire. The 91 stairs on each pyramid's 4 sides adds up to a total of 365 steps, corresponding to the number of days in Ahab's year, with the temple platform at the summit serving as the last step in the calculation. When the sun sets in the late afternoon on the northwest corner of the pyramid during the spring and fall equinoxes, it throws a series of triangular shadows against the northwest railing that give the appearance of a feathered serpent crawling down the pyramid. This specific occurrence has received a lot of attention and is definitely one you should make time to experience. Number 8. Machu Picchu, Peru. Machu Picchu, one of the world's most stunning and majestic historic ruins, was found in 1911 by Hawaiian historian Hiram Bingham, after having been lost for centuries above the Urubamba Valley. The name Machu Picchu, which translates to ancient mountain in Quechua and refers to the stone metropolis that the Incas constructed in the 15th century. It is situated between the mountains Huayna Picchu and Machu Picchu and is a must-see location. The lost city of the Incas is totally self-contained, hidden from below, surrounded by terraced fields, and supplied with water by natural springs. Prior to being rediscovered in 1911, it was widely unknown to the outside world, despite being well known locally. Since then, Machu Picchu has grown to be Peru's top tourist destination. Machu Picchu is a fantastic mystical site. It combines natural features with Inca architecture, and we believe everyone ought to visit it at least once. Number 7. Petra, Jordan. The famous Rose Crimson City, half as old as time, Petra served as the Nabatean Kingdom's first capital. It is undoubtedly both Jordan's most valuable treasure and a top tourist destination. The spectacular city was carved out of huge boulders rather than constructed like a typical structure that would be built from the ground up. Petra is a large, distinctive city that the Nabatean dug into the side of the Wadi Musa Canyon centuries ago and made into a crucial intersection for the spice and silk routes connecting China, India, and southern Arabia with Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Archaeologists claim that only 15% of the site has been discovered because they have only discovered artifacts dating back as far as 2 BC, but Petra's ancient city dates back as far as 400 BC. It is said that underground there are even more mysteries to be revealed. Nothing can prepare you for encountering this remarkable wonder, despite the fact that you might have seen images or movies of Petra. Number 6. Colosseum, Rome, Italy. The largest and most well-known amphitheater ever constructed in the Roman Empire is most certainly the Colosseum. You'll need to visit to get a proper feel of this wonder. The Colosseum was used for gladiatorial contests and public spectacles like mock sea battles for a short time, as the hypogeum was soon filled in with mechanisms to support the other activities. An interesting fact is that Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty began work on it in 72 AD. His son Titus completed it in 80 AD, so its construction took about 8 years to achieve. To celebrate, 100 days of performances were staged at the Colosseum's opening ceremonies, during which 2,000 gladiators and 5,000 animals were sacrificed. It could hold between 50,000 and 80,000 spectators, with an average audience of about 65,000. In the early medieval period, the structure stopped being used for entertainment. Later, it was used again for things like housing, workshops, religious order quarters, a fortress, a quarry, and a Christian shrine. Number 5. Taj Mahal, India. The Taj Mahal is now considered one of the world's new 7 wonders, but this stunning white marble tomb has a unique tale to tell. It serves as Arjun Banu's ultimate resting place, also known as Mumtaz Mahal. The Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan had this enormous monument constructed between 1632 and 1653 in honor of his beloved late wife. A masterpiece of Mughal architecture and a significant piece of world heritage, the Taj Mahal is one of the best preserved and most stunning tombs in the entire world. It's referred to as a teardrop on the cheek of eternity and is a network of connected buildings. It also has several other stunning structures that would be lovely to experience with people, such as reflecting pools and vast decorative gardens with flowering trees and plants. Number 4. Great Wall of China. The Great Wall is known in China as Changcheng, which translates to Long Wall. It may be too long to simply call it that, but it is definitely a sight to behold. After a 5-year survey, Chinese authorities in 2012 found that the Great Wall measured a total of 21,196 kilometers. It starts from the eastern coast of China and reaches into the far western deserts, looping around 404 towns in 15 provincial regions across northern and central China. The exact start date of the construction is uncertain, but it is thought that between the 7th and 5th centuries BC, numerous minor sections of the wall were built by the various nations that would later unite to form what is now China. In other words, the wall is quite ancient. Interestingly, the wall was originally constructed to keep out the roving Huns, fierce nomadic people who gave the Romans a run for their money throughout Europe and Asia. Most tourists favor the Badaling and Mitianyu sections of the wall, both of which require at least 2 hours of hiking. There are also a lot of wild areas, including Jiangku. It takes a lot of courage and physical power to climb these portions because they are so adventurous and demanding of energy. Number 3. The Eiffel Tower, France. Did you know that this magnificent structure was originally named as the 300-meter tower, but quickly took on the name of its architect, Gustave Eiffel? The Eiffel Tower, also known as La Dame de Fer, or the Iron Lady, is a tower made of iron lattice situated on the Champ de Mars in Paris. The Eiffel Tower became one of the most well-known attractions in Paris very fast due to its height and distinctive silhouette floating above the cityscape. You could go to enjoy the sights or even propose to a loved one in this gorgeous location. It is now regarded as a global symbol of France and one of the most recognizable buildings in the entire world. It is the world's most visited paid monument and the tallest building in Paris. Millions of people climb it each year. The Eiffel Tower was designed to serve as one of the cornerstones of the 1889 Paris World's Fair. The gigantic iron and steel constructions that symbolize the era's most impressive industrial achievement were the showpiece of that year's World's Fair in Paris, which occupied the whole Champ de Mars. Number 2. Christ the Redeemer, Rio de Janeiro. The monument, which serves as a global emblem of Christianity as well as a cultural phenomenon for Rio de Janeiro and Brazil, is one of the new 7 wonders of the world. It was built between 1922 and 1931 and is made of soapstone and reinforced concrete. Pedro Maria Bosch, a priest of the Vicentian order, was the one who first suggested the monument. To honor the Brazilian Princess Regent, who was the daughter of Emperor Pedro II, He proposed erecting a Christian monument atop Mount Corcovado. Although Boss's idea from the 1850s was rejected, the Roman Catholic Church of Rio de Janeiro persisted in pushing for it in 1921 because they wanted a statue of Jesus visible from every section of Rio, and thus the statue came to be born. Paul Landowski, a Polish-French artist who was also Brazilian, and Albert Keiko, a French engineer, worked together to build the Art Deco monument, while George Leonida, a Romanian artist, designed the face. Be sure to bring a camera when you visit to capture the grandeur of this man-made wonder. Number 1. Great Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza are situated on the Giza Plateau. These magnificent pyramids, which date back more than 4,500 years, were constructed as tombs for 3 kings of Egypt's Old Kingdom. Over 14 million people visit the pyramids annually, making it one of the most visited tourist destinations in the world today. Probably the most well-known ancient site in the entire world is the Giza Necropolis, which is close to the southwest suburbs of Cairo. The Giza pyramids were constructed by Khufu, his second reigning son Khafre, and Menkaure throughout 3 generations. The earliest and only remaining example of one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world is the Great Pyramid of Khufu. The pyramid was built out of more than 2 million stone blocks over the course of 20 years, with work wrapping up around 2560 BC. Choosing a guided tour is probably one of the methods to learn about the history of the Giza pyramids and ancient Egypt. With the assistance of a knowledgeable Egyptologist tour, you'll get to see sites like Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure pyramids. You will also get the opportunity to visit the Valley Temple and the Solar Boat Museum to better understand the old religious rites that used to take place at this historic spot. Love how this sounds? Then you should definitely check out the pyramids at least once in your lifetime. Don't these wonders sound fascinating? If you visited any of these wonders before, let us know in the comments and tell us which ones are your favorites. Do you like our picks? Then be sure to like this video, subscribe, and check out more videos from Travel World.